Check.
Okay,
1, 2.
I'm sorry, these are coupons.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to day number 2 of the 2019 GOODE Water Ski National Championships. Today's a special day. We're going to be qualifying for the America's Cup on the main North-South Lake. And now we're going to take a pause and celebrate our freedom, and we're going to sing our national anthem. So give a pause and we'll celebrate our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Another beautiful version of the Star-Spangled Banner. Okay, so we're about moments away from starting qualifying the America's Cup. It's also the Open Women's Slalom Division of the U.S. National Championships. All right, our main sponsors for this, Women's Slalom, Malibu Boats. They're the sponsor of the Women's Slalom event. Men's Slalom, Correct Craft Ski Nautique. Men's Jump, Mastercraft. Women's Jump, Ski Nautique. And Men's and Women's Tricks are sponsored by Roger Dean Chevy of West Palm Beach. So if you guys need a Chevrolet, go down and check out Roger Dean. He's got a booth at the vendor tent.
Perfect. Scoring. This is the vote. How do you copy?
I'm not feeling any judging.
Do we have 2 judges up there?
Just arriving.
Yes, we got 2 judges.
So this is yesterday's stuff. We don't need to.
Awesome. Scoring. How do you copy?
Just one judge.
Actually, just one judge in the north-south main tower.
No, there's supposed to be 2.
Okay, boys, too slalom. We did that. I think the other one's running right now.
Here they
Okay, Judge.
They're coming.
This is Dennis. Tim Veo's working on a second official now.
He's on his way up.
Dennis, this is Tim Veo. You're all good to go. So Russ Seltzer and Donner Switzer are out the tower, and Scott Bader is here on Splash High. 10-4.
Judges are in the tower now. They're coming up the step, the second one.
What is Boys 3 slalom is today.
Well, we're happy now.
All right, so this is the boat. Brad Hartwell, very young. Look slow. We're going to run down to the far end, wait, and then we'll come back and pick up our first skier, Jenna Morgan.
All right. We're going to simulate the boat pass, and we'll be underway. America's Cup qualifying. You need to go down to the vendor tents. We're going to be talking about it all day. See our vendors, our sponsors that sponsor our sport, Radar Skis, the Jim Grew, the Barbara Boating Fund, Good Water Skis, our title sponsor for the U.S. Nationals for 20-plus years, Mastercraft, Correct Craft Ski Nautique, Malibu Boats, D3 Water Skis, Roger Dean Chevy, providing sponsorship for the Trick event. Thanks to them. HO Water Skis, OJ Props.
You're all set.
So be sure and check out all the sponsors and vendors in the vendor tent as we're about to get open women's slalom underway. We've got 19 of these ladies. And then we'll follow that with open men's slalom.
Scoring. How do you copy?
Good morning.
Okay.
This is yours, right?
No, I've got mine.
Oh, I don't know what this is.
Hey,
That's for yesterday.
Leave it here. He's trying to sort everything out.
Move this over.
Get started, but so far scoring is.
Okay, Tommy, you got a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tommy, you're the color guy, he's the lead guy. So this is like, it's the ABCs. A is the starting dock, B is the course, C is getting dropped down at the other end, okay? So, Tommy is going to introduce the skier coming in. He's going to shut up when they pull out for their, on the side of the boat to do their cut through the gates for number
You're good to
one.
go.
You're going to handle everything going down the lake. When you get done, you two can talk about briefly just what happened. And then,
Need to get our
now,
monitor on the
I don't
tower.
think they can hear us
It's up and
down
running.
here.
Good.
I don't talk about a skier's performance when they're sitting in the water so that they can, if they
Like-
hear it, you know.
I messed up a little boy one time. Like, he's going to have to ski his personal best to get in the lead.
Yeah, so, and then that's how it goes. And then he'll introduce them coming back at 35 off. And after he does that and they pull out to get to do their cut through the gates, then it's all you. Okay. Okay. And that way you don't have to. Yeah, he'll have the bios and he can talk about that. You know, while they're sitting down and going. That way you know your space, he knows his space, and have fun.
Perfect.
All right.
Check.
Sir.
You're live.
Radio. Turn this thing on and off while you're doing it, or no?
It's on right
It's
now.
on right
All right, scoring, here we come. Jenna Morgan, 22 off. Jenna
Hey,
Morgan,
Hank.
22.
I don't.
Number is 22.
Jenna Morgan from Odessa, Florida. All right, open women's slalom up and going. Jenna Morgan from Odessa, Florida on the water. I'm hanging out up here with Seth Stisher. We're going to be talking about these open women's slalom skiers all day long. What do you think, Seth?
Exciting event coming up
history, some of the best in the world. Jenna completing that first pass. Like it's nothing. Perfect conditions out here today. Let's don't tempt the weather though. You know how it's been. If you're not familiar with what we have going on, open men, open women. This is the normal nationals round, but it's also qualifying round for the America's Cup, which we'll have tonight. Some of the greatest skiers out here for all of us to enjoy. Slalom, jump, and trick. But right now, good. U.S. Nationals open women's slalom.
28 off coming back.
I don't know if you copied the vote. I got 6 with the 9-4, 6 with the 9-4. We confirmed 6 with the 9-4.
Thanks, Seth. Thanks.
Judges, was that 28 off? I didn't hear.
22. Yeah, minus 28.
Guys, you're under control.
Got it.
All right, Jenna's coming back at 28 off. She started at 22 off. A little warm up for the morning.
Let's try to see if that works.
Looking clean and easy at the start there. Little texture on the water. It's not glass out there, but pretty great conditions. Jenna Morgan making short work of 28 off.
Still got that static in these things. There's static in one of them while we're talking. It's throwing out static at the same time. Try your.
Check, 1, 2. 1, 2.
There's a background to it.
Hey, can I?
Judge agree on 6. Next pass, 32.
Oh, you think maybe?
Did we get all the bags off of the speakers?
You know, a minute ago when he was talking, it was doing it, and when I went, it didn't. When I was on the other cord.
Depends on how strong. We're going in here to make sure that's that one's covered.
All right, Jenna Morgan completing 34 miles an hour, 28 off the rope. Our first open women's slalom skier. I can't.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You didn't even know you were talking.
She'll be coming back at 28 off the rope. 32 off the rope.
Does that have its own amplifier, that speaker?
Jenna, 32 off.
Just a little bit.
All right, Jenna coming into the course behind that Malibu. 32 feet off the tow line.
That's what I was telling him. We played with him. I don't know why that was doing that. You got a juice control here by your phone. That's okay. Get out of the way. Bob says it's so loud it's destroying everything. That's maybe what it is. But I don't know how to go back.
You want to turn it down?
Or 6 and 6.
All right, 6 buoys. 32 off for Jenna Morgan.
4, 6 to 9-4, minus 32. Jenna.
You gotta get there. You gotta zoom in.
All right, so we've got 19 open women's slalom skiers. Jenna being the first off the dock.
You're not even on now.
No, he switched my cord.
Oh,
I was on.
you're on now.
See, I think he's on a split with us.
See, ones are safe. You're on now.
All right, again, 19.
See where the end of this goes. Find where the end of that goes.
You hear that, Tommy? I'm over here, bro.
Huh?
He's
Down. So
I disappeared right there.
you're going where?
Jenna, 35.
Yeah,
Did I disappear when you put that in though?
Oh,
When you had that out, I think I was good.
okay. His isn't working.
I think it was when you had that out.
All right.
All right, here comes Jenna Morgan, 35 off. First of 19 open women skiers. Coming into a little breeze. Ooh, gets stood up a little bit at 3. Came apart in the transition going out to 3 ball and lost a little bit through the turn.
See, that's not going. It's not.
Plus goes 3 with an 8-1, 3 with an 8-1, minus 35. Jenna.
Check, 1, 2. Check. Check, check, check.
Total score 93.
You're coming back in here.
No, coming back in here.
Right there.
All
right
of it.
there.
Test, test.
Yes. Can you hear that, Kelvin?
Test, test, test.
Yeah, I got you over here.
Okay.
Let's see if I can disappear there for a second.
It stopped good outside.
Bob Archambault, Bob Archambault. Test, test. Can you hear me? Could you hear that, Bob? No.
He didn't hear any of that.
Bob, are we on the microphone there? Bob Archambault, can you hear me?
It's not flying out there.
Test, test. Check, check. Now you're on.
Scoring Kelly Breeden, minus 22. Kelly, 22 off 34. Kelly, minus 22, 34.
All right, our next skier. Kelly Breeden, 22 off. Kelly Breeden coming to the course behind the Malibu. Second skier off the dock. Open women qualifying round for the America's Cup and also our national championship. It's a nice warm-up and easy ride here for Kelly.
Tower 6 and 6.
Hank or Bob, can you hear this?
There is no bios for women.
Let's score 6 with a 9-4, 6 with a 9-4, 22 for Kelly.
They're not hearing anything.
No.
Scram 6, next pass, 28.
Try this.
Test, test.
Try it again.
Test, test. Those of you standing down there spectating, can you hear me right now?
Well, that's it. It's coming here very loud
But now there's nothing.
because I've turned down some of the sound down there.
Yeah, but he's got nothing on the mic.
Well,
I
yeah,
know.
hold on. He's taking us out of this. We're running out of this
Into there.
into his.
The mics are starting over here,
Right.
Yeah.
and then we're powering back through here into here.
Into this one.
And it all worked last night.
Yep.
It was working a minute ago. It's just.
Try now.
Test, test.
28.
Test.
You're getting a
Try,
little bit.
try.
Test, test. Can you hear me down there, spectators? Can you hear me? All 12 of you. Check, 1, 2.
That speaker turned down there.
Yeah, but we should be hearing this one.
Blasting.
Yeah, you're not even hearing in this one.
Right.
Okay, go to
Check.
15, Bob.
I
I'm on
didn't hear that
15,
down
sir.
when you walked out here.
In case you can hear me, Kelly Breeden, 28 off.
Okay, give me a hit.
Check.
Tower 6 and 6.
But this is
Kelly Breeden, nope.
music is, you can hear the music.
Let's score 6
Well,
with a 9-4.
can you just check real quick and I'll do it
I
again?
mean, actually, I can hear it right here.
You can hear me right here. Test.
This speaker isn't producing any light.
No, you can't hear it in the mic. But you can you hear me down there though?
Well, that one goes through this one.
Actually, that one doesn't. That one's two separates, I believe.
Okay, wait, that one is going to be.
Test, test.
So is the difference between left and right? I mean, it's,
No, it should be all the same. You're coming back in our.
When we're picking you up on that microphone if it's on.
Check, 1, 2.
I can hear it.
Test, 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 test. Hank Longo, can you hear me at all?
Ho, that's our problem.
Could you hear me before that?
Let me set it back. We're on this thing set for stereo and we need to be in mono. I'm gonna turn it down.
Kelly
Beautiful.
Kelly Breeden back in at 32 off, second of 19 open women skiers here at the GOODE U.S. National Championships. Qualifying round for the America's Cup.
Tower 6 and 6.
Kelly cruising through 32 off.
Readjusted microphones. We're working on music now.
Let's score 6 with a 9-5, 6 with a 9-5, 32, Kelly.
We should be able to.
The music, so I think it's between songs.
All right, so currently in the lead, Jenna Morgan, our first skier off the dock with 3 at 35 off. She got a little disconnected into 3, stood it up, stopped at 3 ball. Now on the water, just bringing you up to speed because our mics weren't working so well.
Not hearing music.
Kelly Breeden, she'll be coming back in at 35 off to challenge Jenna Morgan, our leader.
Oh, We've got
You're
plenty
not
of
doing-
music.
you're not
Yeah,
doing the
speaker
music.
by
No,
Tyler.
no, not at all.
So we're on this speaker. Oh,
35.
that's the problem being is it's this. We're on
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
both sides.
on the water, north end of the lake, Kelly Breeden. Little breeze in her face, help keeping that line tight. Tight 1, connected into 2, little bit of delay at 2, finishes 3. Little stretched out into 4, headed for 5. She's going to get through this thing. 6 at 35 off. Kelly Breeden taking the lead.
6-6.
Okay, I'm hearing him now. Boat score 6 with a 95. 6 with a 95. 35, Kelly.
It's loud down there. The reason being is that one's coming out of this side. Whatever.
Judge agree on 6 next pass.
All right, 6 buoys confirmed for Kelly Breeden. South end of the lake. She'll be coming back at 38 off.
Another mixer all by itself.
Trying to set up a score to beat to make it into that America's Cup tonight.
Here we go.
And a chance to be on the podium for the GOODE National Championships.
See, now I just took the speakers down there out.
Right.
And this one's on. So hold on a minute.
Ready? Kelly, 38 off.
You should be getting the music. Should be getting music because it didn't make.
Music, but it's
All right, look at the south end of the lake. Kelly Breeden coming back in, 38 off. It's
Ask him how the sound is.
early in the morning to be challenging a 38 through the gates. Little stretched out into 1. Loose line, slow turn, and pops the handle. That looks like it's going to be a half a buoy at 38 off for Kelly Breeden. Great scheme for an early Wednesday morning, though. Good start to our open women division there with Jenna Morgan and Kelly Breeden.
So what'd she run to?
Oh, a half at 38.
Half of 38.
How many make it in?
Make it into America's Cup. 3 and 4. What's that?
How many people make it into the America's Cup?
3 in the women and 4 with the men.
That's what I thought.
That's a tough field. What did Jenna get? She got
3 at 35.
3 at 35.
We got no miles, you said?
I'm working on that. We do for open women, but I didn't see there's no girls.
All right, 2 of our 19 skiers in the open women division have made their mark, and our next skier is Kennedy Hansen on the dock.
Kennedy is from Milton, Florida. He's primarily a Corey Pickus.
Kennedy hails from the great state of Florida here. She's up in the Panhandle, Milton, Florida. That's near Pensacola. Skis a lot at the Pecos Water Ski Center.
Skip Kristen Baldwin.
So they skip Kennedy?
No, you skipped Kristen Baldwin on that race. Oh, she was right there. Sorry.
All right, scoring next up, I got Kennedy Hansen, minus 28. Kennedy, 28 off.
All right. The next skier on the water, Kennedy Hansen, she'll be coming in at 28 off. Now, the other 2 started at 22 off, so you're going to see a little different direction here. She'll have her 38 into the headwind if she gets there. Looking good for the start here. Kennedy Hansen, Milton, Florida. 3rd skier in our 2019 GOODE National Water Ski Championships, which also doubles as the
qualifying round for the America's Cup we'll see tonight. Look like an easy opener at 28 off. Now, for those of you who don't know, only 3 of these ladies will make it through to the America's Cup this evening. That's tough work with a field of 19 to only have 3 people make it through. 5 people on the podium for the GOODE National Championship. 3 people skiing tonight in the America's Cup Challenge.
See, they separated these bio sheets by lake. So what division? So women's 1 and girls 3 don't ski on this lake. So I've got the bio sheets here for this lake.
Kennedy, 32
So
off.
this is open women qualifying for this because Kristen Baldwin's got an open rating. They're letting her ski for the America's Cup.
Oh, but she's actually skiing it.
Yes, she's actually. Yeah.
All right, here we go. North end of the lake. Kennedy Hansen, 32 off. Early into 2. Little hesitation at 3, but no troubles for 32 off. Still flowing. Tight at 5 ball. Around 6 and out the gates. Kennedy Hansen. So Kennedy will be coming back at 35 and setting up that 38 with a light breeze of a headwind, which is always nice. So a quick rundown of who we've got on our list today. A lot of great women skiers. Some of these skiers actually are competing in the their age division for the national championship and then competing in the open women division just to qualify for the America's Cup or have a chance to. You've seen Jenna Morgan, Kelly Breeden, and you're watching Kennedy Hansen right now.
Kennedy, minus 35.
They'll be followed by Kristen Baldwin, Alexandra Garcia, Trish Burke, Brandi Nagle, Erica Lang, Jesse DaBurton, and let's take a break for a moment. Here comes Kennedy, 35 off. The lead is currently 1/2 of a buoy at 38 off. Kennedy needs to run this to challenge that lead. Aggressive one, but a good one. Tied at 2. Great 2-ball for a lefty. Looking pretty good at 4. Little hesitation. Has to hit 5 a little hard. Gets around 6 and out the gates. Kennedy Hansen, 35 off. Now currently she only needs 1 buoy to take the lead, but I'm sure she's looking well beyond that.
It's going to take more than that to get to the finals, though.
A lot more.
A lot more.
So to finish out that list, too, so you can see the potential we have, we've got Anna Gay, Brie Carter, Elizabeth Montalban, Bailey Austin, Cassidy Hawkins, Karen Truelove, Brooke Baldwin, Allie Nicholson, Chelsea Mills, and Regina Jaquist, your current world record holder.
It's funny that Hank's got these things for some.
All right, here we go, 38 off. Important pass here for Kennedy Hansen. Got deep at 1. Pulled herself up into the wake. She gets a full buoy. Great skiing for Kennedy Hansen. I suspect it's going to take a little more for the America's Cup, but that's great water skiing right there, and she does take the lead. Kennedy Hansen.
So as we get our open women's division underway, be sure and plan some time today to check out the vendor tent down there. We've got lots of sponsors for the America's Cup and also the GOODE Water Ski National Championships. All 3 of our boat companies down there, Mastercraft, Correct Craft Ski Nautique, Malibu Boats. We want to thank them for being here. Without boats, there is no water skiing. And we got to have them, and we need them, and we appreciate them being here. Go support them. Check out the booth. Our title sponsor, Good Water Skis. Check out their booth. Masterline is down there. All the ski companies, Radar, D3, HO Skis, Syndicate. Go check out that.
And Conley.
And Conley, I'm sorry. I'm just reading on the signs across there. But, yeah, take some time. You need a new pair of gloves, a new vest, a new boat, yeah, and some skis. Go check that out.
We've also got 3 of your mainstay shops over there. Performance Ski and Surf, who's been supporting this sport for long before many of you have been in it. Miami Ski Nautiques, who does a great job as well, and H2OProshop.com. But now Kristen Baldwin on the water, 28 off. Bit of a slow one, but that's just that morning warm-up.
Look like 6 and out the gates for Kristen Baldwin. She's Kristen from Windermere, Florida, a phenomenal overall skier. She's a girls 3 skier, one of the younger skiers. Her and Kennedy Hansen, and Allie Garcia, younger skiers in this open women's division. That speaks for their training ability and talent. But Kristen also has a sister. There's a sister duo that's skiing in this. Her sister Brooke will also be in this open division.
Yeah, 2 great water skiers for sure, from a great water skiing family, both their mom and dad. Very accomplished water skiers, big names in the sport.
And Kristen's grandfather, Ed Nichols, from up in Massachusetts, quite a supporter and participant in the sport. Delaware, I believe he was from.
All right, we've got Kristen coming back at 32 off. I don't think you'll see any more of these ladies starting at 22. They'll all start at 28, maybe even 32 off. All right, Kristen Baldwin, north end of the lake, 32 off. Much better one than she had at 28, looking good at 2. Kristen Baldwin looking strong, around 5, headed to 6, 32 off. Complete, she's out the gates. Kristen Baldwin.
So 32 off. In the books for Kristen Baldwin from Windermere, Florida. I don't have Kristen's bio sheet up here because she doesn't ski on this lake in her event, but I know she has been to several Junior Worlds, Junior U.S. Open, national titles, several national overall jump trick titles, slalom. Very accomplished water skier, Kristen Baldwin. So here we go. This is 35 off the rope, 34 miles an hour, open women's slalom qualifying.
All right, slight little breeze tailwind. Shouldn't be a problem at 35 for Kristen Baldwin. Little hesitation at 1. Looks pretty good at 2, though. Around 4, tip rise, little loose line, but handling it, staying determined. Over to 6. Kristen Baldwin, a little fight, but out the gates, 35 off.
She was pretty tough in that pass right there. She had a little trouble and persisted through it.
Yeah, there's that tiny little breeze on the water that I don't think it's a lot, but if you make a little mistake in the transition and start heading down course into the buoy, that wind sort of takes advantage of you. And then you just got to muscle it out and stay determined. Now, interestingly enough, Tommy Newman, who I'm here with, he's a little bit of a closet slalom skier. Calls himself a jumper, so it takes the pressure off. But I think that 35 pass is one that he can hammer through.
It's if I get through it, once every 3 years. It is a hammer through. Unlike you, Seth, I'm not a slalom skier.
Well, at least you have other talents. I do not. All right, Kristen Baldwin coming back into the course. This is 38 off. Right now our lead is 1 at 38. Kristen looking to get a lot more than that. Hopefully that little breeze will give her a tight line at 1. Oh, gets on the tail, but able to throw it out there around 2. Inside of 3, but a great job by Kristen Baldwin of making something out of that 1 ball. She'll take the lead. That's Kristen Baldwin, 2 at 38 off. All right, our next skier on the water is Allie Garcia. You might recognize that name, a great skiing family as well.
Allie, the younger sister of Taylor Garcia, who we'll see later on in the open men's divisions. We'll see him flying down the lake after a while. They're going to put the jump in right here on this lake. They tested it out last night, and they're going to have it in here after open men's slalom. And we're going to see some jump action. That's when I can talk a little more.
and jump is going to be under the lights, if I'm correct. Is that right, Tommy?
Tonight for the America's Cup, it will.
Under the lights. Awesome.
All right, here we go. Our next competitor from Orlando, Florida, Allie Garcia, 34 miles an hour, 28 off the rope.
DaBurton minus 22.
Oh, sorry, 22.
Actually, 22 off for Allie. We actually don't have Allie. This is actually Trish Burke. Looks like Allie Garcia will not be skiing today.
Allie must be hurt.
Saw her at the practice lake yesterday, but I don't know. Trish Burke, though, out the gates, 22 off. Now, if this tells you a little about our event and about the determination and the skill set of these ladies, we've seen girls 3 competitors skiing in the open women division to compete for that America's Cup opportunity. Now we've got a women's 4 skier, Trish Burke. Who?
See, they never do that for the announcers.
If you could help call it in much earlier, that'd be helpful, so I can make sure I get everything.
They just, right when the boat's coming in, they announce too. You already in there.
Yeah, we already.
Trish will be coming back at 28 off. Trish is from West Palm Beach. She skis right here on this lake. Home side advantage. Now, these ladies who are competing in the open women division solely for the America's Cup potential, they get to compete in their age division as well, so they get at least 2 slalom rides here at the GOODE National Championships. Here comes Trish, 28 off, north end of the lake. Tight 1 ball. Looking good at 2. Around 3. Connected into 4, which always yields a great finish to the turn. Around 5, headed to 6. All right, Trish Burke out the gates, 28 off. Now, Trish is our 5th skier on the water, but technically the 6th on our list. Allie Garcia will not ski in this event. So we're down to 18 competitors, Trish being the 5th of those competitors.
So, open women's slalom underway right now. This is also the qualifying for the America's Cup tonight. This is going to be a huge, huge event. After open women's slalom, we'll have open men's slalom. Then we're going to put the jump in. We'll have qualifying open men's jump, open women's jump. And tonight we'll have an autograph session on the North-South Lake. At 6:30, we'll start the Malibu women's slalom finals.
All right, Trish Burke on the south end of the lake, coming back at 32 off. Strong move out to 1. A little deep with that left shoulder at 1.
Oh.
Back on the tail at 2, but hanging in there. She's not done. I'm wrong. She's done. 3 at 32 off for Trish Burke. Now, not what Trish is capable of. I've seen her run 35 off. She is a strong competitor. Just didn't get the start she wanted there. A little deep at 1, and you can see how the finish of the turn, if you get a little deep, even if you make it through it, it generally leads to a lackluster transition to the next buoy, which is going to put you down course. So overdue 1, head down course at 2.
Such as slalom, it's every buoy, every time, every pass, and you're skiing 1 minute and not the next. It's a pretty instant over in slalom, as we all know that compete. It happens to all of us, and Trish will be back again in another event.
Absolutely, and interestingly enough, you being a jumper more than anything, I had a conversation with Freddie Krueger, and this may be a little technically geeky, but while we've got some downtime, one of the things that Freddie and I were talking about, Karen was skiing with us, and we were talking about technique and position through the wakes and the most powerful position you can have. And one of the things that Freddie pointed out is, for us slalom skiers versus jumpers, as soon as we start building steam in one direction, we got to turn around and head the other way. So you've got to be able to move out of that power position that you're in, which is why we talk a lot about squaring up to the boat and things like that, so that we don't overload that down shoulder and get stuck in our lean, thereby overshooting the next buoy.
All the power you put into it from the buoy to the wake has to be unloaded from the wake to the next buoy.
Yes, and unloaded efficiently in order to keep moving down the lake.
Slalom lesson number 1 for the morning.
And you can find all this information at waterskigeek.com. That doesn't actually exist. I might buy that domain, though, just to cater to all of us.
I think they're finishing up girls 1 slalom on the Turnpike Lake, and then they've got to finish up men's 6 slalom. Then they'll start today's events, which is girls 3 slalom. It'll be
Weather was not our friend yesterday, huh?
Yeah, we had a little delay.
All right, looks like our next skier should be Brandi Nagle. We'll wait for confirmation on that.
Next up, Brandi Nagle, minus 22.
34-22, Brandi Nagle.
All right, Brandi Nagle, 22 off. Coming into the course on the south end of the lake.
Brandi from Sacramento, California, Western Region skier, open women's slalom skier, Brandi Nagle on the water, 34 miles an hour, 22 off the rope.
I was just told that's Dr. Nagle to all of you.
Well, Brandi didn't fill out her bio sheet properly, and I didn't have that information in front of me, but I will relay that.
Brandi looked pretty smooth and easy there on her opener at 22 off. So Tommy was going through the agenda for today for the America's Cup. The most important thing you can know is that here on the North-South Lake, all day long, no matter what event you're looking for, you're going to see the best skiers in the country challenging themselves and challenging one another to make it into that America's Cup event tonight. And then we get to see the best of the best compete for the actual America's Cup in all 3 events.
So at 6:30, we'll start the event this evening with the Malibu women's slalom finals. Then at 7, the Ski Nautique men's slalom finals. 7:30, Roger Dean Chevy women's trick finals. 8 o'clock, Roger Dean Chevy men's trick finals. 8:30, the Ski Nautique women's jump finals. And then the big event of the day at 9 o'clock under the lights, the Mastercraft men's jump finals.
It's going to be exciting, but for right now, we've got Brandi Nagle coming in at 22 off from the north end of the lake. 28 off, north end of the lake.
Dr. Brandi Nagle from Sacramento, California.
Looking pretty smooth and easy. Now, this is the nature of our sport. That's 6 and out the gates. But we've got people competing who are the best in the country who go to their regular jobs next week to earn a living. But this is our professional division.
One of the ironic things, Seth, I looked at last night when I was out here when the tournament was wrapping up about dark. They had these lights on, and Freddie Krueger was here helping, and Jonathan Travers was swimming, some of the best pros in their respective division, putting the course in, setting it up for the jump. So this is not a sport where you show up and ski. Everybody's a volunteer and helps, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely. I think a lot of that, though, is the basis of what we love about this sport. You know, we talk about growing it. We want to grow it. We want it to maintain what we've got as well, but it's all hands on deck, and it's a lot of fun, all aspects of it.
So here we go, Dr. Brandi Nagle. This is 32 off the rope, 34 miles an hour. Open women's slalom qualifying for the America's Cup.
Now, if you notice the wind's picking up just a little, Brandi has this tailwind 32. The good doctor around 3. A little down course, but no drama yet. It seems that I have cursed 2 skiers today. Stands it up at 5, just inside of 6. Tailwind just got her just a little. So Brandi Nagle, 5 at 32 off. She's our actual 6th skier in this event. 12 more to go. Again, that list: Erica Lang, Jessie DaBurton, Anna Gay, Brie Carter, Elizabeth Montalban, Bailey Austin, Cassidy Hawkins, Karen Truelove, Brooke Baldwin, Allie Nicholson, Chelsea Mills, and Regina Jaquist.
Like I said before, I'm going to talk to you all day about it. GOODE, our title sponsor, the 20-something years. GOODE Water Skis has been the title sponsor of the U.S. Nationals. You can see their booth over in the vendor tent. Ski Nautique, Correct Craft, Mastercraft, OJ Props, Ski Safe Insurance. If you have a boat, you have to have insurance. Masterline Eagle, D3, H.O. Conley. The shoulder steer. You have shoulder problems. And if you are a slalom skier, you do have shoulder problems. Miami Ski Nautique, they have a booth over there. Nautical Ventures and Radar Skis. So check out all those in the vendor tent. Support our sport. Those guys are working hard over there. Go check them out.
All right, Brandi Nagle heads back to the dock, and we're going to have Erica Lang up next as far as our list goes. Erica Lang, you might recognize her name not only from slalom skiing, but an amazing trick skier as well.
Wakeboard.
Do believe she's an accomplished wakeboarder also.
She holds, according to her bio sheet, she holds the world trick record. She didn't bother to write down the points.
World trick record holder, actually. I think I underplayed that a little bit.
I know her and Anna Gay.
There's a lot of back and forth between Anna Gay and Erica Lang, both amazing trick skiers. But today, showing us that they're amazing slalom skiers as well.
Next up, Erica Lang, 22. Minus 22, Erica, minus 22.
All right, Erica Lang, I believe she's coming in at 22 off. That wind picked up just a little for Brandi Nagle, but it's kind of up and down. Erica Lang, 22 off.
Erica from Gilbert, Arizona, Western Region skier. I believe she's in school or graduated. I think she went to Arizona State University, but I'm not sure of that. No, she went she went there.
All right, Erica Lang out the gates, 22 off. She'll drop down on that north end of the lake. They'll shorten the rope. She'll come back at 28 off. Trying to work her way into that America's Cup event this evening, which is no small task with only 3 of these ladies making it through.
Grand 6, next pass will be 28. Yellow.
All right, here we go. Erica Lang, Gilbert, Arizona. This is 34 miles an hour, 28 off the rope. Open women's slalom qualifying for the America's Cup event.
So starting at 22 off, Erica has set up what would be a 35 headwind, but right now making short work of 28 off. Riding that D3 slalom ski, the Evo. Easy 6. All right, again, for those who don't know, this is a little different than we do some years, but we've got the America's Cup event tonight, and this, the normal Nationals round for open women and open men, is a qualifier for the America's Cup. Tommy, you want to explain how that works again?
Yeah, there's a field of 18 skiers here, and they're going to take 3 of these ladies to the America's Cup finals tonight. Going to start at 6:30 here on the main lake, and some of these young ladies are open rated, but not necessarily skiing in the open division. Some of the younger ones that have skied and will coming up, but because they could qualify for the America's Cup and they had an open rating, they were able to ski in this. So that's how they qualify for tonight. And here we go, Erica Lang. This is 32 off the rope.
Winds calm down just a little bit. Little loose line at 1 for Erica. Trying not to create any drama. Good 2-ball. Headed to 4. Staying strong. Easy 32 off. Even with a little loose line at 1, she looked like she put it all back together at 2, Tommy.
Looks like the wind may be pushing these skiers a little more than we're thinking out here, because a lot of them have come up with a little loose line, a little slack coming down course from this downwind pass.
Yeah, I noticed that even yesterday, actually watching the boys 2 division. 42 boys 2 skiers, which is amazing. But on that end of the lake, that deceptive little light breeze seems to be pushing people down course there. So you get a little stall out and have to hustle into the gates. Put you a little down course at 1, perhaps.
This is, from my perspective, this is called a headwind for jumping.
I was just about to ask you which direction the ramp will be here, so I guess that's the answer.
Yes, it's going to be that way. All right, here we go, Erica Lang, Gilbert, Arizona. This is 35 off. The money pass, must-run pass to get to the leader pass.
35 headwind, that helps a little. A little stall at 2, but she's good. Keep it going. Erica, a little long into 4 to get outside of it. Ski pops out of the water. 4 buoys at 35 off for Erica Lang. That's not going to get her into the America's Cup, but it's certainly entertaining water skiing for us, and a trick skier that can crush buoys like that, and I know she wanted a lot more.
All right, an exciting event already this morning, open women's slalom. America's Cup qualifying. we webcasting now? So we are on webcast. So all you people out there in Webland, good morning, and welcome to the GOODE Water Ski National Championships, Okeeheelee Park, West Palm Beach. A phenomenal ski site here. We're underway with the open women's slalom. The wind is blowing from south to north, which is straight up and down the lake, so it's a straight head tailwind here, light wind, not much, looks like maybe 3 or 4 miles an hour. And we're about 6 skiers into a field of 18, 6 or 7 skiers in, so some good skiing left to come, so stay tuned in out there in Webland.
All right, coming into the course now, our next skier, Jessie DaBurton, 28 off, tailwind 28 to start. Ideally setting up a headwind 38, but let's see what she does here. Good tight one ball. She's riding that radar slalom ski, Jessie DaBurton.
Jessie from Lakeland, Florida, skiing in her home state. She's a clinical social worker. She likes skiing and yoga and running and paddleboarding. Her mentors are Kyle Ead, Roger Scalco, and her mom and dad.
Well, she just made 28 off look easy. No doubt some of that may come from skiing with Kyle Ead. Kyle Ead, a legend in this sport. Got a great training center there in Orlando.
It's fluid. So we're going to be webcast all day with this, right through tonight in our big final, America's Cup Finals, starting at 6:30 tonight. Don't miss that. There's going to be concessions on site, food, drinks, fellowship. The lights will come on. If you've never watched professional men's jumping and women's jumping at nighttime, you need to stay around. That's a pretty amazing event. Not that it's not risky and dangerous enough in the day. We're going to add darkness to it. That makes it more fun.
That makes anything a little more of a challenge, especially heading into a wedge in the middle of the lake.
So here we go, Jessie DaBurton. This is 28 off the rope.
32, actually, I believe.
Yeah, it is 32. DaBurton. I'm sorry.
A little deep at 3, but she's all right. Round 5 headed for 6. Jessie DaBurton out the gates. I heard the officials call it in as she was rounding 6. I think they were pretty confident with that pass, as was Jessie DaBurton. She'll be coming back at 35 off. A little bit of a tailwind, but the idea is to get right through that so you get a shot at 38 with a little breeze in your face.
Like Seth said, most of these young ladies in open women and even the professional division have another job, have a day job. She is a clinical social worker. And that goes on and on and on. So it looks like we've got girls 1 finished over on the Turnpike Lake, and they're into finishing yesterday's event, men's 6.
Yeah, I believe you're right. That does not look like a girls 1 skier over there.
Just an observation. So here's the money pass right here, 35 off for Jessie DaBurton from Lakeland, Florida.
So Jessie looks like she might have allowed for that little overshoot tailwind, but might have lost a little width there at the gates, which caught her there. Lefty, it'll catch you at 2 ball, but she's still strong. Powering through round 5 at 35. Earlier at 6 than she was at 2. Jessie DaBurton, 35 off.
Good looking pass. She did play the wind a little bit there, and good strategy.
She'll be coming back at 38 to challenge the leaders. Right now in the lead with 2 at 38 off, Kristen Baldwin. We can all assume it's going to take a good bit more than that to get into the America's Cup. But right now, the name of the game is get past that 2 ball. Piece of 3 puts you in the lead, gives you the best hope. I think our breeze, I don't think it's continually getting heavier. It's just kind of up and down. Right now it's calmed just a bit. All right, Jesse DaBurton, 38 off. Currently, a very important pass. Oh, down at 1. Now, this is kind of the nature of the beast in this sport. You come into a pass like that knowing you need a good start, and a common mistake that we all make is overdoing one ball, trying to run the whole pass at one ball.
Have you ever done that, Seth?
More times than I care to admit right now, to be honest. But not anymore. Great skiing, though, for Jesse DaBurton. For those of you on the shore who've got friends at home and you want to make sure they're able to watch this, let them know to go to usawaterski.org. They can check out the Nationals or America's Cup. The America's Cup link should be under the Nationals. You search for the Nationals on there or search for America's Cup. You'll be able to watch the live feed of this event, even the qualifying rounds. All right, our next skier is going to be Anna Gay, Orlando, Florida.
So we're almost halfway through this open women's qualifying.
The time for Jesse was fast. They need a different boat time for that half score.
Now,
all right, Anna Gay on the water.
How about a 4-4? Does that sound better?
We think this is 34 miles an hour, 28 off. We'll confirm that in just a minute. Anna Gay, open women's slalom skier, primarily known for her trick skiing. She has held or currently holds the world trick record. Amazing trick skier, but she is a slalom skier and can jump 130 feet as well. So, amazing overall skier, Anna Gay.
Also, to her credit, Tommy, she is a University of Alabama student and water ski team member. The best of the best go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to train for those 4 years or 7 years of school for some of us.
I knew you were going to plug the University of Alabama, Seth, because I believe you are an alumni down there.
I am that.
Do they admit that? Does the University of Alabama admit that you're an alumni?
My name is on a list somewhere, but they don't openly publicize it.
What a fun time. My daughter is about to be a freshman in college at Rollins College and ski for them. And I remember the collegiate skiing days, how fun it is. And it's a great team sport. If you've never witnessed some of the collegiate ski tournaments, you should go watch those. They are fun.
All right, for now, Anna Gay coming back 32 off. Same strategy, 28 off start. Gives a 38 headwind, but right now the 32 headwind is the key. Getting wide and up over that ski at the gates. Nice, tight one ball. That onside turn is clean. Round 4 headed for 5. Man. Round 5 and easy out to 6. And out the gates, Anna Gay, 32 off.
Well, that was an amazing pass, Seth. The line stayed tight and connected to the boat the whole time.
Yeah, I think often overlooked piece of the water ski puzzle is that transition off the center line out to the buoy. We have a tendency to either pull long or completely disconnect in that space. And when you do that, you head down course and get a loose line at the finish of the turn. Anna stays completely connected through that transition, so she rides the swing from the boat out to the buoy line with no major drama.
I think Anna does a lot of ski. I think she trains a lot with Brooke Baldwin, and that's a pretty good training partner down there. And Winter Garden and Windermere, Florida.
Absolutely, and it shows when you watch both of them ski. There's a lot of similarities. Very technically sound, and everyone gets excited to watch the open men division, but you'll see some of the best technical water skiing around right here watching the open women. Smooth, connected, technically sound.
So here we go, 35 off the rope, the money pass. Got to run this one to get a shot at the lead. Anna Gay, Winter Garden, Florida.
From here, that gate looked pretty well timed. Came apart a little into 1 and 3, but looking strong. Still a tight line, Tommy.
Yes, indeed. 35 off tailwind.
6 and out the gate, setting up that 38 off. Now, we know, as we've mentioned, Anna Gay's looking to run a lot more than 2 at 38.
But she's done what she needed to do. She's gotten to the 38 off pass. I don't know what Anna's personal best is. I would think it would have to be something in this pass.
Definitely, and I would assume well down this pass. So she's got the capability here for sure.
Yeah, Cassidy's been into 39 several times. I don't know about that also.
So we know, looking at our list, that we've got 5 or 6 skiers that we know regularly get into 39.5 off. We've even got one that we know regularly gets into 41 and makes all of us mature men feel pretty soft about ourselves.
You run the same speed and line length, right? Is that what I
Yes, also as my 10-year-old son as well, same speed.
A family sport. Here it is, 38 off the rope.
Anna Gay, tight one ball, a little bit of loose line actually, but a tight turn, and almost skips out at 2, loses a handle, 1.5 at 38 off for Anna Gay. Put your hands together. That's great skiing for Anna Gay. Doesn't quite take the lead, but a good challenge. We know it's going to take a score at 38 to get into the America's Cup. Potentially a score at 39, but that's a good show for Anna Gay.
All right. Down to the halfway point in open women's slalom, qualifying for the America's Cup. And right now, in the lead, Kristen Baldwin with 2 at 38. In second place, Anna Gay with 1.5 at 38. Kennedy Hansen in third place with 1 at 38. We have a tie between Kelly Breeden and Jessie DaBurton at a half at 38. And that's the top 5 as we have it right now. With a lot of skiing to go left in open women's slalom here at the 2019 GOODE Water Ski National Championships at Okeeheelee Park. This park was built by skiers for skiers, or for skiers by skiers, either way you want to look at it. But what a phenomenal. There's no other water skiing venue like this in the world that I know of.
And the fact that it's a county park and you pay for a permit and join the ski club and you're here. Brie Carter, 28 off. Wins up a little bit from what it was, but this is her opening pass. Brie Carter riding that Conley GT. Tied around 1.
Another University of Alabama alumni. They're all over the place here, Seth.
We infiltrate a little bit of everything that's successful in the world.
6 buoys and out the gates for Brie Carter at 28 off the rope. Brie's from Loudon, Tennessee. She's a alumni of the University of Alabama.
Another skiing family as well.
It is. Both sisters ski, father skis. She's in marketing. Skis at the La Pointe Ski Park. Is that the La Pointe Ski Park? Is that out in California? I don't know.
The La Pointe Ski Park is in Orlando, Florida.
Okay. All right.
He's got a great site there. You see a lot of people passing through there and a lot of regulars as well. She works for Nautique Boats now as well.
She's she's been in the Under-21 World Championships. 2-time Junior Masters champion, so quite an accomplished slalom skier. Brie Carter from Loudon, Tennessee.
I was corrected as well. She doesn't work specifically for Nautique. She works for Correct Craft, which she's helping champion all of the brands that Correct Craft Boats markets, and they build quality boats there. But right now, we're behind that great Malibu, headed into the course.
32 off the rope, open women's slalom here at the GOODE National Championships.
Brie fell back just a little at 1, but she's all right. Little hesitation there, headed around 4, easy at 4. Out to 5. 6 and out the gates for Brie Carter.
So good morning to all you people out there in webcast land. Glad you've tuned in to watch some phenomenal open women's slalom skiing. Weather couldn't be better. It's not too hot. This is typically not the temperature you feel in South Florida in August. But if you wait around till this afternoon, that'll be here.
Oh, it'll change. Yesterday was a sweat box out here.
It'll rain and then turn into a steam sauna.
Absolutely.
But it's nice right now, slight breeze. Probably a little more breeze than these slalom skiers would like to have on the water. The jumpers are chomping at the bit. Don't worry, guys. It'll be a tailwind when you get out there.
With a bit of rain on your visor. All right, Bree's coming back at 35 off. That wind's picked up just a little. We'll see how she handles the gate. It's been a little challenge, I think, for a lot of the ladies out there this morning.
This is the money pass. Got to run this one to get a shot at the leaderboard. Brie Carter from Loudon, Tennessee.
No, that's no problem.
Tight 1. Drop the shoulder a little, but strong. Come on, Brie.
Bam.
Little bobble at 2, but good at 3. Loose line at 4. Headed out to 5. Just got to hustle over to 6, Brie. Around 6 and out the gates. Brie Carter, she fought through it. Giving her a chance at 38 off.
Most women slalom skiers cannot take that kind of hit, and Bree took it with shoulders back and did not let it break her forward and kept her angle.
Yeah, that was well fought there. A few bobbles here and there, but all you got to do is get through it, and you get to restart at the other end. She'll be coming back at 38 off to challenge our leader.
That makes
Kristen
my back
Baldwin.
hurt just watching it.
My back was hurting when I got here. Nothing like having 2 old men narrate the progress of the open women division. All right, Brie Carter on that Conley GT. She'll be coming back at 38 off. Nice little headwind in her face. Fully capable of getting a ways down this pass.
So the lead right now, 2 at 38. Kristen Baldwin, our third skier off the dock, got that. We'll see what Brie Carter puts together from Loudon, Tennessee. 38 off the rope.
Critical 1 ball. Pretty tight. Hang on. Oh, just a little deep at 2. Loses the handle. Seems to be common this morning. 1.5 at 38 off unofficially for Brie Carter.
Both scores 1.5 with a 4.7, 1.5 with a 4.7, 38 off Bree.
Bree just tied Anna Gay with 1.5 at 38 in the second position currently.
So I'll bet Kristen Baldwin didn't think she'd be holding on to the lead this deep into the pack.
The 995 drive away is here.
The drama,
Roger
you never know with slalom. You got to go out and ski every pass, every booty.
2019 Equinox.
Currently in the lead from Windermere, Florida,
995
Kristen Baldwin.
the new 2019 tracks.
And a quick note based on that is obviously everyone wants to make the podium for the national championships, but the top 3 are going to advance to the America's Cup. So even if you don't win the national championship, you've got a chance if you're in the top 3 to win the America's Cup event this evening.
So I'll go through that qualifying process for the web listeners. There are 18 of these open women's slalom ladies, and they're competing for the national title in open women's slalom, as well as the top 3 will go on to tonight to the big event, the America's Cup Pro style event here on site.
All right, Elizabeth Montalban coming in at 28 off. Now I think Elizabeth Montalban is home court advantage right here. Through the gates and around one, body not moving. This is a critical piece based on what we discussed earlier about slalom skiers having to create power, and as soon as you move through the wakes, get prepared to turn around and do it in the other direction. Limited upper body movement helps this quite a bit.
That was a very smooth pass, Seth. Elizabeth, primarily known as a trick skier, but now moved into the slalom, a very formidable slalom skier. Lives right here in Lake Worth, Florida, just right over here on the beach. Not a bad place to reside. Get to go to the beach and come over here and ski.
Good weather year-round.
I could imagine December being a pretty nice place to be down here.
Much better than McDonald, Tennessee, correct?
No doubt, no doubt.
So they'll shorten the rope on the north end of the lake. Elizabeth will come back at 32 off. Little breeze, headwind. Still a very manageable wind. We hope it stays kind of like this all day long. Hope these skies stay clear.
So we're on skier number 12 out of 18, Elizabeth Montalban from Lake Worth, Florida. As we work our way down through this open women's running, or we're about to get down to the business end of this deal.
Absolutely. Here comes Elizabeth, 32 off. Standing tall over that ski. Look at that onside finish. Limited movement, tight line. No drama so far. Around 5 over to 6. Out the gates, Elizabeth Montalban, 32 off.
Beautiful pass. So I'm going to run down the leaderboard as I have it unofficially, obviously, right now. In the lead, and the mark to beat, Kristen Baldwin with 2 at 38. We've got 2 skiers knotted up at 1.5 at 38, Anna Gay and Brie Carter. And we've got a skier with a half at 38 in the 4th place spot, Jessie DaBurton. No, excuse me, Kennedy Hansen has got 1 at 38, and then Jessie DaBurton in that 5th place spot with a half at 38. So that's the top 5 as it stands right now. We get down to the business end of open women's slalom, sorting out the podium for open women and also the selection for the America's Cup tonight, Seth.
Absolutely, and right now, based on those numbers you just gave us, the only 3 that have a possible chance for the America's Cup are Kristen Baldwin, Anna Gay, and Brie Carter that have already skied. But right now on the water, coming back in this tailwind at 35 off, Elizabeth Montalban. We haven't seen much drama yet. See if we get this gate timed right in that wind. Little bit more loose line at 1 than she's had, but no drama. Round 4 falls back a bit, gets a little dramatic there, turns 5, headed to 6. Around 6, takes a hit and out the gates. Elizabeth Montalban, that tailwind got a hold of her there at 4 ball. But all they write down is a score of 6.
Doing what she needed to do and running 35 off, getting to the money pass now. This is 38 off, the lead 2 buoys, Miss Kristen Baldwin.
I can't help but think at this point with this breeze, some of these ladies are really going to take advantage of that. When you do have a wind in your face, we don't condone pulling a little bit long, but you can get away with a little bit of extra work out to the buoy because the wind's going to shut her down and tighten that line up for you.
Coming from a true ski coach, he doesn't condone it, but if you do a little bit, it'll be okay.
I always have to throw in that disclaimer. I'm not telling you to pull long in a headwind. I will never tell you that.
The one thing a headwind will do, when you quit pulling, you will stop.
That's correct. It tries to separate you. So all that wind on your body's acting like a parachute. The wind's trying to disconnect you through that transition. So if you stay strong through the transition and get that ski out around the buoy and out on its turning edge, it should turn for you.
Here we go. Elizabeth Montalban, 38 off the rope.
Pretty good 1 ball for Elizabeth. Out to 2. Little loose line, but she's fine.
Have a new leader.
We will wait and see what that score is. Looks like she got around 3, but could not hold on. 2.5, it looks like unofficially for Elizabeth Montalban. Let's put your hands together. That's your new leader. Let's all of you put your hands together, not just 7 of you. All 35 of you. Thank you.
Video review that buoy. We call
So shaking up the leaderboard, Elizabeth Montalban moving into the number 1 spot, pushing Kristen Baldwin down to number 2. As we work our way through this open women's running order here at the 2019 GOODE Water Ski National Championships.
Now, for those of you who are spouses or family or not actively participating in this sport, Elizabeth just got a round 3 ball from what it seems from the shore here. They also video, so they look at that closely. And what you get, if you pass the buoy on the outside of it but don't make it back inside the turnball line, you get a quarter of a buoy. If you make it inside that turnball line, which it looks as though she did, you get a half buoy. And if you ski away through the next set of boat guides, you get a full buoy.
They say officially it, or what's that? Did they say officially what it was? Judges, they call that 2.5.
Okay, so the official score there for Elizabeth, 2.5 buoys at 38 off, taking the lead. Top of the list for that national championship right now, but also number 1 on the list for the America's Cup.
So we're getting down to the business end. We're down to our top 7 skiers, so we'll be sorting out that podium and the America's Cup qualifying tonight.
Next up, I got Bailey Austin, -28. Bailey, -28.
So our next skier on the water, your number 7 seed skier in this open women's class, Bailey Austin from Buda, Texas, South Central region skier. And I noticed here on her bio sheet, her personal best is 2 1/2 at 39. So another one of these young ladies that can run 38 off, Bailey Austin.
There you go, Bailey coming into the course. Looks like a nice turn in for the gates. Nice tight line at 1 ball. What we're looking for here on that opener is you don't have to crush it. You just got to get your feet wet, get the body loose. No drama. Keep the heart rate low. 6 at 28 off for Bailey Austin. Now, just to go back a little bit, Tommy, did you say Buda, Texas?
That's what it says, Buda, Texas.
Buda.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's how I read it.
I like it.
With my 6th grade education.
Yeah. Good. We've been corrected by a Texas resident. Buda.
Buda, Texas. He has a Texas hat on, so we're going to take his word for it.
He must know. He's also smarter than us, collectively. All right, here comes Bailey, 32 off. We might have just a little more wind than we've had, picking up just a little bit.
From Buda, Texas, Bailey Austin, 32 off the rope, open women's qualifying.
Looking strong here. Little hesitation at 5 ball, but no big deal. Throws it out around 6 and out the gates. Bailey Austin.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So Bailey Austin from Buda, Texas. I think that Buda is out near where we had the national championship out in San Marcos. I don't think it's too far away. Beautiful site there in San Marcos, Texas, where we've hosted. They hosted the national championships a couple of times. Remember to check out the vendor tents over there. Go support our sponsors. Somebody, I know you need a new vest, new pair of gloves, possibly a new ski, maybe even a new boat. All of that can be accomplished over under the vendor tent. Check out USA Water Ski booth. Right now we've got Bailey Austin from Buda, Texas coming back in. This is 35 off the tow line. Open Women's Division, 2019 GOODE Water Ski National Championships. Bailey Austin. Got to get a good start. Pretty nice out of 1. Well connected. Bailey Austin. Headed over to 4 ball early, waiting on it. No drama here. 5 and headed to 6, around 6 and out the gates. Bailey Austin doing what she needed to do to get to the leader pass. Right now in the lead with 2 1/2 at 38 off, Elizabeth Montalban. We'd like to thank the Ski Club of the Palm Beaches. If you think putting on a tournament at your home site with one lake and 30 skiers is a tough job, try putting on a tournament with several hundred skiers and 5 ski lakes, and that's what they're doing here, the Ski Club of the Palm Beaches, and we appreciate them. They're going to have the Nationals here again next year. That's a big relief. We know where it's going to be, and what a tournament this has been. We've had weather-related issues, and they just cruise right through it and get it done. The odds are we'll have some more weather this afternoon, but right now it's absolutely beautiful. Could not be better. Temperature's nice. It's comfortable out here. For all you webcast viewers out there in Webland, the wind's blowing from south to north, straight up and down the lake. And we got Bailey Austin from Buda, Texas coming in. This is the money pass, 38 off the rope. 2 1/2 is the lead, but she wants more, headed to 2. Looking pretty good. Oh, slack. Can she get around 3? I don't know. Let's see what the judges say. Looks like she did not. So 2 at 38 off. Puts her in a tie with Kristen Baldwin for second place. Elizabeth Montalban still in the lead with 2 1/2 at 38 off. So Bailey Austin, 2 at 38 off. The lead right now still 2 1/2, and we're down to our top 6 skiers. So we're down to the business end here of Open Women's Slalom.
That's what he said. Oh, what? It's officially 2 1/2. I agree. Saw that. That's why I was talking about it so much, because I assumed it was 2. What happened?
All right, now one thing that happened there when Bailey ran 2 at 38 off, that puts 2 skiers tied for second place and pushes 1 1/2, all of those off the 3 skier acceptance for the America's Cup.
All right, our next skier on the water from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, Cassidy Hawkins. This is 34 miles an hour, 28 off the rope. She is our number 6 seed skier on the water, Cassidy Hawkins.
Now, if you watch closely with a lot of these skiers, you'll see different techniques, ideally that all yield some of the same sort of things. You'll notice in Cassidy's transition, she's pulling on that rope a little bit, trying to get the ski to cast out, but trying to get herself balanced up over the ski.
Well, you'll be proud of Cassidy, Seth, because she's going to be an incoming freshman at the University of Alabama this year.
Otherwise just known as the University.
The University. Okay. She's going to be in the medical field. She likes water skiing and running. Her mentors are Martin Coleman. She was first at the Junior World Slalom in the Junior U.S. Open 2018. She was third in the slalom and Junior Masters in 2018. She's a 2018 U.S. Open under 21 women's slalom champion. So it says here she's got a personal best of 2 at 39.
So you're saying she's capable, very capable, of taking the lead and pushing it out there a little bit. Here she comes, 32 off.
From Cape Girardeau, Missouri, right over on the Mississippi River, Cassidy Hawkins.
Wind picked up there for a second and then calmed back down. That's a tight line at 1 ball. Tight line at 2 ball. Roll tight at 3 ball.
Had to get that roll tide in there, didn't you?
Did I say roll tide? 6 buoys, 32 off Cassidy Hawkins.
That University of Alabama water ski team is going to be tough to handle this year.
You know, I saw a little newsreel where Lyman Hardy, who facilitates the needs of the University of Alabama water ski team, commented on the local news in Tuscaloosa that if they've ever had a chance to win a national championship, and I should say if we've ever had a chance to win a national championship, it will be this year. We had a men's team win it when I was there, but we'd never won the overall, and we've had individuals win events, but never beat those Louisiana schools for the national championship. Maybe this year.
Well, they've got the likes of Anna Gay, and Cassidy Hawkins is going to be going there. Sean Hunter's a strong team.
Absolutely.
It takes about 150-something feet just to get on the men's jump team down there.
Yeah, I couldn't even make the team. I was 5th spot when I was going to school there back in the day. Nowadays, I wouldn't even be looked at.
So here we go, the money pass. You got to run this one to get a shot at the lead. 35 off the rope. Cassidy Hawkins from Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Now that wind's starting to quarter a little bit, so right there at the gate it'd be pushing you down course and towards the boat, which will loosen that line up. Cassidy has no problem with it, though. Good strong 2-ball. Offside turn at 3, but still looking good. Little hesitation at 4. Around 5, needs 6. To have a shot at the leader, 6 buoys, Cassidy Hawkins, and out the gates.
So another one of these skiers running 35 off, getting a shot at the leader pass, 38 off. She is the number 6 seed skier. She is an open women's slalom skier, so she's looking at that podium.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not just getting into the America's Cup, but that top 5 podium finish is a big deal. You know, to tell you a little bit about what it takes out here, I think we've got a lot of people my age and above, not to discriminate, that try to wait for those perfect conditions. Well, I stood on the practice dock with Cassidy Hawkins 2 nights ago. The rain's coming down, and we determined that we were waiting on rain and not lightning. So Cassidy was right before me, and she chose to go ahead and ski in the rain. Didn't seem to bother her, and I think that's a lot of times what it takes. You gotta push it. You gotta ski in inclement weather as long as it's safe. Have that great work ethic.
Yeah, you have to go out and practice when it's windy at times because you never know what it's going to be at a tournament. So here we go, 38 off the rope, the money pass, Cassidy Hawkins from Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Needs 2.5 to tie the lead, 3 to take over, and more to push these ladies that are coming up next. She's around 1, pretty good 1-ball. Early to 2, a little loose lines, hustling to 3, hold on to that handle. Gets out those boat guides, 3 buoys, 38 off, new leader, Cassidy Hawkins. And the crowd went crazy. Don't look at me. There we go. There we go.
Here. I know it's early.
I was going to say, I suspect it'll get better as the day goes on. I do believe we will accumulate numbers as the day goes on as well. A lot of people are over on their respective lakes getting their rides in, but they'll come over here and watch the greatest skiers in the country, some of the greatest skiers in the world.
So here's the story on the slalom lake, Seth. Cassidy Hawkins, the number 6 seed skier, just skied into the lead with 3 at 38. But will that be enough to get her on the podium? 5 skiers left, and all of formidable slalom skiers. So we'll see. She did what she needed to do. I know she would have liked to push that lead down the lake, that course, that 38 off pass down the lake, but a good job nonetheless.
This is where seeding plays a big part in this sport. So all of these ladies coming up, right now, for example, Karen Truelove next on the water. She knows if she beats 3 at 38 off, she is guaranteed a podium spot because she is 5th from the last, the 5th seed. So focus your attention to the south end of the lake. Slalom legend, Karen Truelove. I suspect she'll be coming in at 28 off. Wind's not getting crazy, but again, I mentioned it still is a little bit of a quartering tailwind off the dock. So it's down the lake, and headed a little towards the crowd here.
What we call that's a perfect headwind for jump.
Everything comes back to jump, doesn't it, Tommy?
Well, I just call it like I see it.
I don't know if they can get the ramp down here with this wind.
So here we go from Winter Garden, Florida. Karen Truelove, 34 miles an hour, and it is 28 off the rope.
Karen riding that good slalom ski. Champion of the Mastercraft brand. Right now, crushing it behind that Malibu, 28 off, looking clean. Slalom legend, Karen Truelove.
I see, I think I saw her husband, Freddie Krueger, come down the lake. I wonder if Freddie gets nervous when his wife skis.
I can guarantee it, and we just got the nod from Freddie. He's wrapped up pretty tight down there.
Karen sponsored by Mastercraft, 0 off, Masterline Eagle, and OJ Props. And I see her, she has a personal best of 5.5 at 39, so well capable of taking the lead here and a whole lot more. Got 20-plus professional wins.
You know, some of these girls she's competing against, I remember when Karen was that age and I was younger and not nearly as accomplished. Watching her, she was a legend at that time. So she's been out here making this happen and supporting the sport too. On the other hand, that's one thing that's very important is all these professional skiers that have been around for years are not only competing for personal gain, they're supporting our sport and keeping it alive. Her and Freddie doing a great job of always being a part of all these events and helping make them happen. Here comes Karen, 32 off.
A nice little headwind blowing in her face now, starting to pick up a little.
Such a clean one ball. Now, some of these skiers that have even more experience know when to throw the heat to it and when to just stay calm and keep it nice and easy. You'll see a lot of skiers kind of over-hustle through the finish of the turns, especially when they're in bigger events because they get amped up. But the ones that sustain, the ones that make it through, are the ones that stay calm and know where to add that power and energy. And as you watch that 32 off by Karen Truelove, clean and simple, perfect water skiing.
So we're down to the business end, right into the business end. Karen is your number 5 seed skier in open women's slalom. They're going to take 5 to the podium, but only 3 to the America's Cup event tonight.
All right, Karen's coming back at 35 off. Currently, 35 off is that simple must-make pass. There's a chance Karen will make 38 the must-make pass. But right now, 35 off with a little breeze tailwind.
Yes, indeed. The lead 3 at 38 held by Miss Cassidy Hawkins. So you got to run this pass to get a shot at the leader pass right now.
Absolutely, and this tailwind is where the things happen like I mentioned before. People, you've got to stay calm through the finish of the turn so you don't turn into a loose line. Great one ball. Good 2 ball. Fell back just a little, but no problem. Headed to 4. Karen Truelove turns 4, headed to 5. Little stop at 5, but no problem. Around 6 and out the gates. Karen Truelove.
Beautiful pass. No drama. Didn't let the tailwind get a hold of her and doing what she needed to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. She gets a chance here at 38 off. 3 is the lead, as Tommy said. She wants a lot more than that, and with this headwind, I'm sure she is capable of a lot more than that.
Don't forget our vendor tents, vendor booths down in the vendor tents. See our boat companies down there, Mastercraft, Correct Craft Ski Nautique, Malibu Boats. All the ski companies, Radar, Conley, D3, HO, and our title sponsor, Good Water Skis, Radar, Syndicate.
And Tommy, I think it's important to point out that much like years past, the Nationals is a good time to get a good deal on some of the gear that you need. They're kind of rewarding the participants of this sport who are able to make it to the Nationals, giving good deals on new equipment for 2020. Here comes Karen Truelove. Little loose line at 1. Veteran turns 2, no problem. Around 3 and held up a little. 3 at 38 off. Ties the lead. Karen Truelove didn't quite get the one she wanted, but you can see that the seasoned athlete knows how to just chuck that ski out around 2 and get what she needs to at least hold on right now.
So if I'm not mistaken, we will have a runoff for that, but I'll confirm that in just a minute. Because she was the number 5 seed skier, and she tied the last skier, Cassidy Hawkins, so we will be running off, I think, for 5th place, but that will be sorted out with the next 4 skiers up.
Yeah, it looks like you're right. At least a chance at the podium for both Cassidy Hawkins and Karen Truelove, if that is indeed a tie at 3 at 38.
So the tie for 5th is the half at 38.
So as the leaderboard stands right now, you actually have a tie for 1st place between Cassidy Hawkins and Karen Truelove with 4 skiers left. Then we've got a 2.5 at 38 with Elizabeth Montalban. Austin Bailey following that with 2 at 38, as well as Kristen Baldwin with 2 at 38. So Brie Carter and Anna Gay tied with 1.5 at 38.
All right, big skier on the water from Winter Garden, Florida, Brooke Baldwin, and she is your number 4 seed skier in this open women's slalom event. Brooke Baldwin.
Tommy, another example of one of those women skiers that you need to watch because it's technically sound, not a lot of movement.
Brooke has her own patented style. She really has a different style than anyone else you see.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, one piece of that is limited movement with that upper body. You don't see the head and shoulders bouncing around, diving around. It's pretty stable, so you can get into that power position through the turn, coming out of the turn, headed to the wakes, and be able to transition efficiently out to the turning edge without losing that connection with the boat.
You know, people always tell me, use the whole ski. Ski on the middle of the ski, and I typically don't. But you can see Brooke really advancing on the ski when she comes into the buoy, standing tall. Like Seth said, her upper body's still, but she stands up tall and gets on the middle of that ski very nicely.
Absolutely, and that's almost like delegating to the ski and letting it do some of the work through the turn. So it's not all brawn and power. She'll be coming back at 32 off.
So Brooke from Winter Garden, Florida, she is going to be a sophomore at the University of Alabama as well. No, excuse me, a freshman. What a team they're going to have.
Clean one ball. All right, around 3 looking perfect. Around 4 headed to 5. Brooke Baldwin 32 off. Out to 6 ball. She said there's a free lesson. Brooke Baldwin 32 off.
Man, that was a beautiful pass. Really gets up on the top of that ski.
You know, you're talking about getting up on top of that ski, and one of the issues I think we all have is we learn to water ski at 15 off or long line or 22 off in that range where you can pull, make a transition, then climb up onto the front foot, force the ski to turn, and carve through. As you get the shorter lines, there's an important piece there of kind of casting that ski through and out and riding the rope out to the buoy line. There's a real art to get balanced on the ski while also continuing to move out, and Brooke has that down to a science.
Like I said, Brooke, a student and a pro water skier, already in the pro event, and she's also going to be a freshman at the University of Alabama. She's sponsored by D3 Masterline Eagle Performance Ski and Surf. Got a personal best of 1 at 41, so another one of these skiers that's very accomplished. Brooke Baldwin, Winter Garden, Florida.
35 off, and the winds calmed down a little bit. Looking just as clean as she did on the first 2 passes. Perhaps a little bobble for her around 4, but no big deal. Super early for 6 ball and out the gates.
Quite possibly the best 35 off pass we've seen in the tailwind today.
Undoubtedly cleaner than any of them so far. I noticed you were taking notes over there, Tommy. You are a closet slalom skier, aren't you?
I probably ought to set my sights a little lower. She is a pretty skier to watch, no doubt, Brooke Baldwin. And just a pleasant young lady to be around, always smiling and just a pleasant young lady. Her and her sister both, Kristen, who held the lead for a long time in this event with 2 at 38. She's currently in 3rd place right now.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things, we talked earlier about pro skiers helping support events and doing work and that sort of thing, but the other thing in this sport is the accessibility and the types of people and types of athletes you have, and that class that they carry is a big part of growing the sport.
Brooke is a 3rd-generation skier. Her grandfather, Ed Nichols, skied. Both her parents skied. Now her and her sister skiing. But here we go, the money pass, 38 off the rope, 34 miles an hour, open women's slalom.
Wind picked up just a little. Long as she plays it well at the gate, that could be to her advantage even. Little loose line at 1, no drama for her. Turns 2, gets back on the tail of the ski. Turns 3, headed to 4. Around 4, takes a little hit. 4 at 38 off unofficially for Brooke Baldwin. Taking the lead, but I know stopping a little short of what she wanted.
Definitely a surprise there. Brooke is typically automatic at that line length.
It's interesting, Tommy. I don't know if it's the wind on the gate or not, but on these headwind passes, we're still seeing a little loose line and skiers fall back a little bit. I don't know if they're losing speed on the gates and pulling a little long to 1, but generally you would consider this an ideal headwind for a slalom skier.
So Brooke doing what she needed to do as far as getting into the lead with 3 skiers remaining. She was number 4 seed, so she's assured herself a spot on the podium. But is it enough to get? They take 3 skiers from this open women's qualifying to the America's Cup tonight, and there's 3 skiers after her. So that 4 at 38 is definitely the mark to beat.
It's the mark to beat, but I'd say with these 3 skiers we have left, it's an at-risk score. Right now is going to be the tough piece of this, in addition to the podium, is there's only 3 spots for the America's Cup tonight. So if these last 3 skiers better that 4 at 38 score, Brooke will not be in the America's Cup, but I believe that's a tough mark to beat. It doesn't look like 38 has been an easy pass thus far.
All right, next skier on the water from Gallatin, Tennessee, Allie Nicholson. This is 28 off the rope. She is your number 3 seed skier in open women's slalom, Allie Nicholson.
Allie, another very technical skier. You'll see a lot of that at this level. Allie trained for years with her family and with her brother Zane, who's a very accomplished men's skier as well. A great coach also. Allie Nicholson, 28 off. Easy pass for her.
So I see here Allie's got a personal best of 2 at 39. Allie's won the Junior U.S. Open. She's also won the Under-21 World Champion Slalom. Student at Florida Southern up in Lakeland, Florida, Allie Nicholson. Her mentors are Linda Giddens, her brother Zane Nicholson, and her dad. If anybody around the southern region doesn't know the name Linda Giddens, she has taught many of these skiers how to ski from little to big.
Undoubtedly, I actually I only spent a week at Linda's when I was younger, but it was very impactful, and to this day, very thankful for her participation in the sport. Interestingly enough, I was watching Boys 2 yesterday because my son skied, and Linda was there the entire time watching all of her disciples and cheering them on.
That's amazing. She loves the sport. A former pro competitor from way back when, and then ran a ski school in Eastman, Georgia for years. But right now we got Allie Nicholson from Gallatin, Tennessee. This is 32 off the rope.
All right. Allie with a little breeze headwind, 32 off. Kind of another opener. Tight line at 1 ball. Beautiful. Beautiful 2 ball. if you don't look at Allie's feet, you can't distinguish onside from offside, and that's a pretty strong characteristic there that has been a contributor to a lot of her success. 6 buoys, 32 off, Allie Nicholson. Now, Tommy, going back to Linda Giddens, judging from some of those old photos, I see you when you jump. You've got the collar on, the helmet on, 7 layers of padding, a seat belt, 5-point harness. I've seen pictures of Linda in a pair of jump shorts and a nylon vest with no helmet, going just about as far.
Technology's changed.
Evidently, guts, brawn, and courage have as well.
And she jumped further than me then. So
one of the greatest for sure. I don't want to take anything away from your jumping, though, Tommy. I definitely do not have the guts to do what you do.
Chauncey went to Linda Giddens one time and skied early in the morning. He went in and changed her clothes. And they're like, "It's your turn again, Chauncey." "Oh, I've already skied today."
Here you go, Allie Nicholson. This is 35 off. Must run past to get a shot at the leader from Gallatin, Tennessee.
Here we go. Tailwind looks clean so far. She got a little loose line at 1, but she's all right. That awesome offside contributes there. Strong all the way through to 4. A little bobble. Around 5, out to 6, no problem. Allie Nicholson, a little hit at the end.
Allie Nicholson is tiny. She looks like she would break in half, and she gets amazing angle. When she sets the angle behind the bow, really gets a good lean and pull.
Absolutely. She skis a lot stronger than she looks, doesn't she? And she's also another one of those that's just great off the water. I don't think I've ever seen her without a huge smile on her face.
He is just a wonderful young lady to be around. I've been around her in the state of Tennessee since she was in the junior division. Whole family, the Nicholson family, just a lot of fun. They train on the public lake over in Gallatin, Tennessee. Old Hickory Lake up there north of Nashville, and I think it helps her a lot. She trains a lot on public water, and a few rollers and a little wind, she skis right through them.
Well, right now that the youngest member of that great family is coming back in at 38 off. This is an important pass for at 38 off. The score to beat right now. Got to have 3 to guarantee a spot on the podium, or at least a spot in the runoff for the podium. We'll see. Hopefully keeping speed at the gates there. This is about as good of a one as I've seen at 38. Keep it going, Allie. Nice 2-ball. Talk about the business end. She's looking strong. Come on, Allie. Don't know if that's going to be 3.5 or 4.
3.5.
We got a 3.5 from the judges. 3.5 at 38 off. Guarantees her a spot on the podium, but did not quite beat the lead. But she was turning 4, ready to go to 5, and just had a little mishap. Put your hands together, though, for Allie Nicholson. Great water skiing.
Good job out there, Allie.
Tommy, I got to say, that's probably the best 1-2-3 combo I've seen at 38 today.
That's the story of slalom. It's all happening good, and then it's over.
Absolutely.
Are we going to review that score, please?
All right, don't forget our vendor tent. Go down and check out that. Our premier sponsors for this event today, the main sponsors of the America's Cup tonight are Ski Nautique, Malibu, Mastercraft, and Roger Dean Chevrolet of West Palm Beach. We've got Jim Grew and the Barbara Bolding Fund. They are a sponsor of this event. Also, D3, Good, Radar, HO, and OJ Props. So we thank them for sponsoring the America's Cup. And we'd like to also encourage you to go down to the vendor tent and go shopping, get some gloves, get a vest, get a boat, heck. It's all available down there. Go check them out. I was down yesterday, and I've got to figure out if I've got money in the budget to go buy the toys that I want. So we're doing a little review right here before I get our next skier. That's what the holdup is. They called that so we'll get set to update that in just a minute.
All right, we have a correction there. Allie Nicholson just got a score of 4 at 38 off to tie the lead. And she gives the thumbs up. Standing next to that legend we were speaking of earlier, Linda Giddens. I commented to Miss Linda yesterday that she's dressed a lot better than the rest of us out here. Looking like a lady where we all look like bums. Actually, a group of us walked into a restaurant last night, and the lady opened the door before we got there and said, "You guys must be with the water ski group." I realized it's because we all look like white trash walking in straight from the lake.
It is good to see Linda and Leonard Giddens down there. Oh, so score adjusted for Allie Nicholson. So now we have a tie between Brooke Baldwin and Allie Nicholson for 4 at 38 off. 2 skiers to go.
And I'll tell you what that did is if you were watching down by the shore when Allie realized that's 4 at 38, she knows she's got to head down to the dock and get prepared because there'll be a runoff. Potentially still a runoff between Karen Truelove and Cassidy Hawkins with 3 at 38. We'll see how these next two.
Our next skier on the water.